how to build the perfect lunch bowl to keep in the best shape of your life after 45. Hey everybody, it's Sophie here. So I'm making this video because a lot of you have asked. So I did another video, which I will link to underneath this video, of what I eat in a day. And a lot of you said to me, can you really zero in on this lunch bowl that you create and show us how you put this lunch bowl together and exactly what you put in it? So that's what I'm going to do today. Now, for those of you who don't know me, I help women who are over the age of 45. I've just turned 60, and I help women who are over the age of 45 get into the best shape possible of their life, get into optimal health, and maintain it through a beautiful, nourishing lifestyle, and maintain it for the rest of their life. So in case you don't know me, that's what I do. And in fact, I'll link to a little free training that I have underneath this video of the sort of 4 steps, these 4 lifestyle reset lifestyle steps that I take women through. So make sure you check that out I'll link to that in the description below. But let's just get into this. So I just want to show you. Now, I want to be clear that I do not have the same lunch every single day or dinner. Pretty much breakfast, but not lunch or dinner. So it changes every single day. And I try to eat seasonally because I love to eat with the seasons. Obviously, eating seasonally is the best thing that you can possibly do because the fruit or vegetable is at its peak, ripeness. And so my lunch bowl in the summer, and this is more of a summer lunch bowl, will be very different to what it is in the winter. But the basics of how I build it are still the same, and that's exactly just what I'm going to very quickly walk you through now. The other thing that I want to say is that there's no one size fits all. So when I work with clients, everything is very personalized and customized. Reason being that there may be some of the foods that I'm including today that you're like, ooh, I hate those foods. I don't like them. Not a problem at all. You can find something else that is going to give you the same or similar health benefits that is a different kind of food. Some of you may have food sensitivities or food allergies. So it's really important to understand that, as I go through this, there's always a way to kind of really make it work for you as well. Okay? So this is what I've got in this particular bowl right here, and I'll try and hold this up to the camera so you can see. So I'll actually, this is almost a finished bowl, so I'll kind of walk you through how I build it. And the building is the same. So in every single bowl, there's going to be, I always need my 3 macronutrients, and so do you. So you're always going to need to have healthy fats, complex carbs, and protein, anti-inflammatory protein. In every single meal. If you don't, there is something missing and something will go awry. And that is why I am so against low carb diets or the kind of keto diets. So we have to have those 3 macronutrients to feel really satiated and happy and get everything that you need and your body's preferred source of fuel. And then from there, we then start building and sprinkling in all the micronutrients that are so important for optimal health, particularly for a woman who's over the age of 45 or, postmenopausal like myself, because there's very specific foods that are going to really help you and be very important for you. Okay, so in the bottom of the bowl, I always have dark leafy greens of one kind or another, and I really try to vary it up. So if I can get hold of watercress is so rich in certain nutrients. I love watercress, can't always find it. Sometimes it'll be different kinds of baby leaves, sometimes it'll be crunchy romaine. I think one of my favorite dark leafy greens is arugula. So arugula is a very rich source of nitrates, which is so important for women who have high blood pressure. So I love to have arugula, plus it has a delicious peppery taste. In England, it goes by the name of rocket. If you're watching from England, and here in America, we call it arugula. As you can tell from my accent, I come from England, but I actually live in Los Angeles, and I've lived here for 25 years. Okay, so that's the base. Lots of dark leafy greens. We want to get about a pound of dark leafy greens into our diet every single day, no matter what. So my clients will get some of that in their smoothie, a lot of it in their smoothie, some of it in raw, in lunch bowls, some of it will be gently steamed. So there's different ways that we can get it in. And it also, again, really depends on the individual and the client, because, you know, if somebody has a history of kidney stones, for instance, or certain health issues, then we may need to, you know, have those greens in a slightly different form, or lightly cooked, or whatever it is, particularly in the case of a dark leafy green like spinach. So that's the base. Next up, I always want to have a grain, always a grain of some kind, a complex carb. So I use different ones, and I really vary it up, and I really recommend that you do too. With all of everything that I show you, you really don't want to have the same thing every single day. Everything is about variety. We call it getting different plant points in, because the variety of all the different fruits and vegetables feed different microbes in your gut. And we're really looking for you to create this beautiful diversity in your gut for good gut health. So sometimes I'll use a rice. I really love using a purple or a dark rice, because in that they can be forbidden rice, because there are anthocyanins in anything that's purple, like purple potato or purple rice. You could do cubed roasted purple potato. You could do purple rice. Wonderful. You could just do an organic brown rice as well. You could do a wild rice, which isn't technically a grain, it's technically actually a grass. But I really vary those up. It's going to fill you up. It's going to make you feel really satiated. So make sure you always get the complex carb. One of the things that I really love to use, and this is for women who have high triglycerides, is to use quinoa. So again, quinoa isn't technically a grain, but we kind of eat it and consume it like a grain, which is lovely because it's really filling. And quinoa, 1 cup a day, can significantly lower your triglyceride levels. The taste of quinoa, I think really you've got to really flavor it and get good at really knowing how to cook it, because in of itself it's not the tastiest grain in the world. So I like to make a tabbouleh. And it is simply, before you ask for the recipe, because I tend to just do no recipe meals, this is just minced up parsley. Lots and lots and lots of minced up parsley. I use tons of fresh herbs. I've got tomatoes in there, I've got cucumber in there, and I've got tons of quinoa, excuse me. So this is a quinoa tabbouleh, and it's super, super delicious. So I could put a cup of that in there, and then I'm getting my quinoa for the day. All right, so we've got the base of our greens, then we've got our grain or our quinoa, and again, depending on, you know, what you're going to do, you know, depending on your health needs. Then a protein. So what am I going to have for protein? I really like tofu. I like organic tofu. I use a lot this high protein tofu right here, which is very, very high in protein. And every single time I talk about soy, there's always somebody who's like, oh my gosh, soy, I can't eat soy. Soy is dangerous, soy is bad, wherever. So just to curb this at the pass, I am going to put a link underneath this video on the only people who shouldn't eat soy. It's very simple. Most postmenopausal women actually should be eating soy, 2 to 3 servings a day of organic, non-GMO soy. It is incredibly beneficial for you for many, many things, including protecting against breast cancer and breast cancer recurrence. So it's kind of the opposite of what a lot of women think. So what I do with this high protein tofu is I cut it into little strips. I cover it with a little bit of tamari, which is a gluten-free soy sauce, and a little bit of seasoning, and I roast it in the oven, and I have these delicious, delicious sticks, and they are absolutely fantastic. So we're almost there. We are almost there. So those I will then add to the bowl. So you can see here now, we've got our dark leafy greens, okay, we've got our complex carbs, which I've just gone through. We've got our protein. Now, for women, the very few women who are allergic to soy, you can look at, there are some beautiful products coming out, one of which is something called pumfu, which is a pumpkin tofu. It's tofu made of pumpkin seeds. It's absolutely delicious. So you can roast it, crumble it, do whatever you want with that. Okay, so we've got our protein in there. Now, what can we add? What can we start adding in terms of micronutrients? Well, I always, I'm just going to grab this, add a fermented veggie. So you can ferment your own veggies at home or you could buy them. Fermented veggies are wonderful for most women, not everybody, there are some exceptions, most people, for really increasing good gut health. It's a probiotic. So I put in a decent, like at least a tablespoon of beautiful probiotics in there. I will also add some hemp seeds in there. Hemp seeds are another really good source of protein. You've got your omegas in there. I might add a few walnuts to get even more omega-3 fatty acids. I love these little crunchy roasted chickpeas. I'll throw those in as well. I'll sprinkle some nutritional yeast on top because I love the flavor. It's a lovely cheesy umami, and you've got some B vitamins in there. And I'm just seeing what else. The final piece here of this is I might add some avocado, just a little bit of avocado. You do need your healthy fats in there. I love putting sprouts in. I try to put sprouts in every single salad, either pea sprouts, alfalfa sprouts, or broccoli sprouts. So I like to make my own sprouts at home because they're full of sulforaphane, which is one of the most powerful anti-cancer or cancer-fighting compounds. So you really want your sprouts in there. So I'll put loads of those in. And then if it's in the summer, I like to put a fruit in. So I like to eat my seasonal fruits. So in the summer, I might have an organic peach or nectarine or something of that kind. So I really love to include fruit in a salad. It's delicious. Then for the dressing, most of my clients will use an oil-free dressing because most of my clients are on a weight loss journey, and we don't want to add all of that extra oil in there because it's so calorific, and if we don't need it, we can get all the polyphenols that's in something like an olive oil in beautiful whole unrefined sauces. We are going to do that. And so I have here a little oil-free dressing that I'm going to put on. This is just a little sort of sesame miso dressing, and if you haven't got time to make a dressing, you can find some pretty good oil-free dressings now, and I'll link to a good oil-free dressing underneath this video, or you can have a really nice balsamic vinegar and just drizzle balsamic vinegar on it. So that is an example of how I build the perfect lunch bowl, and this is my summer edition. I will come back and do more of a winter edition another time. So thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and be sure to check out my free mini training underneath this video because I think you'll get so much of that. It really goes over the 4 holistic steps that I take women through to get into the best health of their life and maintain it for life. I'll see you next time.